Hello, World of Tank Blitzers. It's Littlefinger. Happy Friday, October 28th. Yes, time for another store review. Just a couple days before this event ends, Halloween is right around the corner. Not a lot has changed in the store, so hopefully this will be a quick review. Tankenstein still in store, and I wanted to pull this up just in case you guys get the tank, because if you go here into rank and then click on this button here on the left, you'll see that as this is a premium tank, it is one of the few that gives you a gun option choice, either 105mm or 130, which is a little bit more on the derpy side, longer reload, less damage per minute. So you can choose that, and that is where you go to make that change. So 2 days left here on Pharaoh's Treasure. You know, simply by winning battles, getting white flags. Hopefully by now you've got the Medjay for free. Not a bad tank. Hold down tends to bounce a lot more shots than I was expecting. As far as the Pharaoh, which is the tier 7 main reward heavy tanks, remember the glyphs get you a higher percentage chance of getting that from a drop box. So I would wait closer to the end date, see if you can pull in a few more masteries to get that percentage higher. You can see here, you can get that with 7 glyphs, you can get that all the way up to 30%. And here is the Pharaoh heavy tank at tier 7 hybrid nation. It's certainly not anything like the Annihilator or Smasher. This is a slower moving heavy tank with 3-shot auto loader. Seen a few of them around, but not a whole bunch. So if we back on out here, I did want to mention, this is something that has been new to me. I know we're at the end of the Operation Call of Folio, the October Battle Pass. I always talk about, you know, getting this because you've got over 3,000 gold, a lot of 5x boosters, which I think the Battle Pass is really good for those people that are grinding up the tech trees. It gives you a good bit of cash, or silver I should say, good bit of gold, gives you a nice fun little tier 6 tank to play and grind credits in. But one of the things I noticed, I basically took almost 2 weeks off from playing Blitz on this account. And what you'll notice here, because I did not get those as many battles and as many victories, my vaults are not full. So I'm not going to finish this month probably with a full vault. So the benefit here is the license allows you to complete all of these missions at one time. So I was able to quickly complete all of the missions without playing as many battles. If you are somebody that comes in like I was in previous months, and each day you pretty much complete most of these daily missions, you'll have played enough battles, I feel, to fill up those vaults. So again, you know, the Battle Pass, really effective if you're coming in every day and playing just enough battles to make sure that you fill up all of those vaults. So let's hop into the store and go through this. I'm not going to talk about the containers just yet. We've got $2 for the ring key, so if you want more chances to get the Pharaoh, the tier 7 event tank, it's going to cost you $2. And again, that is just to open up a container with the drop chance based upon the number of glyphs that you have. You saw for mine right now currently at 7%. The all-seeing legendary camo here is either 99 cents or it is 1,500 gold. This is for the Pharaoh, and you'll see it here. Kind of adds that little purple haze to it. Nice little addition there. Obviously, if you're wondering which way, $1 is certainly a better deal than spending 1,500 gold, unless of course you've got so much gold you don't know what to do with, which probably a very rare few of you out there like that. We talked about the Dracula's Arsenal, the Helsing Arsenal. This is really not that great of a deal. 2,000 gold for $5. So it's 400 gold per dollar. You are getting 10 5x bonuses, which again, if you get these 5x bonuses and they're not for a specific tank, use them on tech tree tanks that you are still grinding. And then, of course, what you're really getting out of this is this little background here, right here. So there, I really, not thinking about paying for that. But anyway, we've got the Soul Conductor attachment, which I believe was confirmed this week, that basically this just comes out at the beginning of the battle. So you're going to see this animation as you start, and it's only good on select tanks. So if you know of the tank that you want to put it on, select the tank in your garage and then do the preview on it. So attachment is suitable for most tanks, but it's not universal. All right. We'll talk about tanks when we get down to the tank section. I believe that the 121B, we'll go ahead and talk about it here now, because you've got an option here in the container. $25 here for 8,500 gold. Works out to be 340 gold per dollar. Not a great deal, but it's a 25% gamble on getting the tank for $25 versus 15,000 gold here if you buy the tank outright. So let's talk about the tank. Tier 10 medium. It's a Chinese tank. I really enjoy the mobility on this tank. It's got a very good power to weight ratio because it's got 0.6 train resistance. So it's got good mobility. It's not quite the mobility of a Leopard, but it's certainly better than, say, the STB. The gun on this is super accurate, and you've got turret armor similar to a T-62A. So you can bounce a few shots on this medium. However, let's face it, guys. Right now, Blitz is a world of heavy tanks at the moment. Heavy tanks doing a good bit of damage. You make too many mistakes in a medium or light tank, and you're going to have a pretty quick game. So just keep that in mind. I think this is more geared towards, stronger players that really do enjoy the mobility of a faster tank. And again, 15,000 gold is probably the price that we will continue to see this tank be sold for. Now, moving on, subscription for gold. This is one of the best deals that I've seen in quite some time. Over 1,100 gold per dollar. For a $3 investment, getting 3,500 gold and 14,000 free XP. Just remember, guys, you have to open up your game every day and claim this reward. You don't even have to play a battle after that. You can just shut down the app. Just make sure you log in every single day in order to claim all of the gold and free XP in there. I guess we'll talk about the container collection next. If you haven't seen this, it's been in the store frequently. You're gonna get all of these containers into your account, and then you're gonna have to open up each one of these, and you can see you've got a varying degree of drop chances, typically from 3 to 4.5%. I think there's one at 3.5 for the Badger, 5% here for the Batchat Borask, 5% for the Emil. There are a lot of good tanks in here. There's not too many really bad tanks, ones that you won't be happy with. So just keep that in mind. But again, you are gambling on crates, and we all know that those tanks will eventually come back in the store at some point in time for gold. So yeah, so where are we at? Here is the premium pass and the license. Again, late in the month, I wouldn't recommend buying those yet, but just keep my comments earlier in mind for next month's battle pass. We've got the strategic advantage, which actually is not a horrible deal. 12,500 gold. Let me just make sure I get this right. 416 gold per dollar. And again, you're going to walk away here with 35x booster. So again, I think this is rather on a high number. I would say if you buy this, you're going to have to play 30 battles in your tech tree tanks first to use up all of those 5x boosters, or else you've really ruined the opportunity to maximize those 5x boosters. Now, what I do like, the $30 is a little bit high. The number of 5x boosters is a little high. I do like both of these deals. They're both 400 gold per dollar, so it's not, great, but it's not horrible. You're going to get 10 5x boosters and some silver to go along with that. And that works pretty similar here on this one, 500,000 silver and 5x boosters for $5. So, if you're looking a way to get some 5x boosters to grind some tech tree tanks and make those a little quicker, that's the way to do it. So now on to the tanks that we haven't already talked about. The smashing platoon here, we've seen this before. I still think 10,000 is a little high for these two tanks. The IS-2SH is just not a tank you're really going to fall in love with, just because it's a lot slower and the gun trolls you a little bit, as it does not have quite the accuracy as the Chrysler K does. Chrysler K is good in certain situations on certain maps. Obviously, with a rear-mounted turret, you don't have great gun depression, but this tank is fast, and if you can face-hug somebody, they are going to suffer very hard, able to pen you. So it's a bullying tank, but again, tough to play on maps with hills, which most of the maps do. Most people play in the hills in order to get hull down. So obviously out of the two, I recommend the Chrysler K. 7,500 for a tier 8, and it's going to come with the premium camo and the attachment. Not a bad deal for that tank, to be honest with you. We've already talked about the 121B, the SU-100Y. I enjoy this tank, I really do. It's going to come with the attachment on top. We've got 10 5X only for the SU-100Y. Obviously, the garage slot and equipment's unlocked. 2,000 gold for a tier 6 tank destroyer that is pretty fun to play, but comes with a big but. This thing is the size of a barn, and it is difficult to hide, so you really have to be cognizant of the size of this thing and really know where to go in order to hide as much of this as you can. And we go down here. One of the things that I find unique about this tank is your premium ammunition here, just slightly lower in pen. And this 180 pen at this tier 6 is perfectly fine, is going to give you a higher average damage. So using the premium to get higher damage, usually we see those in reverse. Makes that a fun tank to play. Invincible Menace we talked about last week. Two really fun tank destroyers, obviously no armor whatsoever. Can't really say if I prefer one over the other. I've played both of these this week. Skorpion probably might be a little bit more in my wheelhouse, just because you've got the rotational turret, allows you to stay stationary and keep that camouflage net active for longer. Both have good mobility for tank destroyers, but again, no armor. These do come with these orders. This one's going to be a TD container. You're going to get 3 of them with a 10% drop chance. That is a nice deal. The other one was 3 mystery crates. Not quite as good a deal there. So 17,500 for 2 tier 8s. You're obviously getting a discount buying them together. I would go probably with the SU-130 just because of its better price point if I had to pick one or the other. The B2 here, believe this tank gets premium matchmaking, so you're always top tier. Not fun tier really to play with such a low damage per minute or damage per shot. 25 gold boosters there makes this interesting, along with 1,500 there to be able to sell that for $4. So you're going to get a nice amount of gold in return if you do try to sell it. And I was just reading here about the collect them all container. It's going to give you 1 extra charm. Depending upon what charms, some of them are 7, some of them are 10. If you get 10 or 7 charms, you can cash that in for 1,000 gold. So, if you're 1 charm away, hey, go for it. Titan 54D, pass on this, guys, for this price point. It is way too expensive. It does have the little gimmick of being able to use a consumable to change the angle of this armor and bring these plates around to protect you a little bit more, giving you a little bit more armor for a temporary period of time. But 12,500 for a tier 8 is just a ripoff. I don't really enjoy the tank just because it fits into that heavily armored, slow mobility, medium tank, and I just really am not enjoying playing those. Again, as I mentioned last week and in the description, if you're buying gold, make sure you're buying gold wherever you have 2 X's remaining. By that, I mean, instead of getting 17,500 gold for this bundle, you're going to end up with 35,000 gold, so 2 times what it normally sells for. And if you've used all of these up, go online, use the link in the description below, just change it to whatever server you use to log in, and you can get all the 2 X's there as well. I'm going to skip over the esports because we talked about that. Just make sure you're obviously buying or you're opening your free containers on a regular basis to build up those boosters. And we talked about the container, the bag company here. Let's just really quick, 10 gold charms. So if you open up 10 of these crates, you're going to get 1,000 gold guarantee. Here are the tanks in it, some good ones and some bad ones. You're going to be pretty unhappy if you get the Spike. Nightmare you probably should have already gotten for free if you've been playing recently. You're not going to be happy if you get the Scavenger for 10,000 gold, I'll tell you that. So again, just stay away from containers if you can, guys. So that's it. Hope you have a great weekend. And of course, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger, out.